Hi, folks. Welcome to Crisco's Corner. Unfiltered commentary. And not your truth, the real truth. Please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thank you for your support. Welcome back. From Fox 13, Tampa Bay. Florida Senate passes bill to prohibit social media companies from removing political candidates. Tallahassee, Florida, and one of Governor Ron DeSantis' top priorities of the legislative season, the Florida Senate on Monday passed a measure to crack down on social media companies that remove users from their platforms. I hope it's not just mostly people running for public office, i.e. politicians. The Republican-controlled Senate voted 22-17 along almost straight party lines to approve the proposal, SB 7072, which now goes to the House. DeSantis made a priority of this issue after decisions by Twitter and Facebook to block former President Donald Trump from their platforms in January after Trump supporters stormed the U.S. Capitol to try to prevent certification of Joe Biden's election victory. The bill, in part, would bar social media companies from removing political candidates from the company's platforms. Companies that violate the prohibition would face fines of $100,000 a day for statewide candidates and $10,000 a day for other candidates. The proposal would require social media companies to publish standards about issues such as blocking users and applying the standards consistently. Good luck with that. Consistency is a pretty relative term, depending on your point of view and who you are and what side you're on. Pointing to the dominance of the handful of technology companies such as Amazon, Facebook, and Google, bill sponsor Ray Rodriguez said a big tech is not a free market and that the state has a role in regulating such companies. You know, normally I wouldn't agree because every monopoly has disintegrated, went out of business. Those of you in the United States here, Walmart is huge, of course. And at one time in my lifetime, and I'm 64, the biggest retailer in the United States. They had over twice as many locations as Walmart has currently in the U.S. And people struggle to remember who it was. And that was A&P. So these big, huge companies that have huge market shares always end up self-destructing. And competition comes along. But these guys are so powerful. They basically block out the sun. Normally, I wouldn't go along with something like this, but they have misused their power, and it's not a matter of an opinion. They've misused their power so blatantly, so hypocritically, that government needs to step in. And if you have a conservative Republican Florida Senate stepping in, they have crossed the line, in their opinion. And I agree. When the battle is between a monopoly on one side and hardworking Americans on the other, the right of history has always been on the side of the people. It has never been on the side of monopolies, not in this country. But Senator Jeff Brandes, a St. Petersburg Republican who joined Republicans in voting against the bill, said the measure is unconstitutional and that it is a big government bill. One of these old school Republicans, and I don't mean old school as in the ages of the politicians. I mean the old school and old school thinking. You're at war, my friend. You are at war with cable news, 95% of it, all of social media, all of Hollywood, all of the universities, almost all of the high schools, almost all of the middle schools, and now a huge portion of elementary schools. When are you going to wake up and stop bringing a knife to a gunfight? This is the kind of bill you would see in countries that you don't want to talk about, some that are 90 miles south of here, meaning Cuba, of course. When are these guys going to grow a spine? When? When are they going to grow a spine? And granted, this is the Florida Senate and not the U.S. Senate. But the U.S. Senate, House of Representatives is filled with Republicans that say, we'll take the high road and we'll let them take over everything. But we're right, and reason and logic will win the day. BS. It's not winning or getting killed. Democrats also suggested the bill is politically motivated. DeSantis is a close Trump ally, and many Republicans are outraged when the former president was blocked from social media platforms. We know this bill is as much about political messaging as anything, Senate Minority Leader Gary Farmer from Lighthouse Point said. Seriously? Seriously? A Democrat at the state Senate level is claiming this is about politics? You got a serious set of balls, my friend. Senator Kelly Stargo, Republican Lakeland, said people have exercised free speech on social media and that platforms arbitrarily shut down the expression. When you get to a situation where a business has a monopoly on a message and the ability to direct a message through that monopoly, that there is where government kind of sometimes comes and steps in. Well, kind of sometimes. That's not very well put, but I know what she means. I think this bill is trying to strike that right balance by allowing free speech and at the same time trying to make sure the business is not arbitrarily setting up that speech and blocking out people they don't want in it. Now, I watched Tim Pool has an episode on his channel. I don't know if it's Tim Cast or Tim Pool, which one it's on, that goes into detail. It's just not about removing political candidates. This channel, as tiny as I am, I have less than 600 subscribers, is just dramatically shadow banned. Dramatically. And some of the hints that I've gotten for that is those of you out there that have channels, is go to your channels and go to your video tab and hold the cursor over the video. If you don't see a preview, more than likely that video is shadow banned. Shadow banned means you'll be notified when a video comes up if you're a subscriber. I don't believe the number of impressions they say they send out. And here's the thing, even if they did, they send them out to people they know would have almost zero interest in any of my videos. And that's what they do. So you're there, but you're invisible. What did the moron Brian Stelter say in CNN concerning Fox News? Take them off of cable, but they can have their own website. They have a right to free speech. We just don't want them to have the reach. It was a really nice phrase because it rhymed, but it's evil. We're going to see what happens. What might come down to this? That the states don't have the right by themselves? Or these social media monsters will start eliminating states. In other words, we can't have anybody from Florida. And then Tim Pool went through the bill, some parts of it, and it's only about big channels that have over 100,000 subscribers. And he was saying, of course, well, that's not really that hard to do. Well, it is. Tim wasn't shadow banned in the beginning, and he also had a media presence and was nationally known when he started. So he had a nice jumping off point. Wasn't given to him, he earned it. I get it. I have a lot of respect for the guy and what he's built. But the fact of the matter is, if you're new like me and many other YouTube channels, you are screwed. How are you going to help us little guys? All it's going to do is help the big channels. The channels have been around for a long time, like Sticks and those guys, Tim Pool. There's a bunch of them. Dave Rubin, Jordan Peterson. They have the 100 million views and the 100,000 plus subscribers. But us little guys, and I was a small businessman for a long time, and when you're small and you're up against big corporate interest or people with money that are competing with you, you had a huge disadvantage. Huge disadvantage. So I applaud what they're doing. And I think taking a president of the United States off of your social media site and banning them is frankly evil. If they did it to President Biden, I'd be screaming too. I think it was wrong. But we'll see what's going to happen. I mean, I like the thought about it. I like the initiative. But frankly, we're going to find out. Now, I know Texas is considering the same thing, in other states as well. I don't know if they can all band together. Somebody said in Australia they want to put in legislation for an Australian elected official that's in the legislature that got banned off of a site and basically copy the Florida law. I applaud that. Good for them. And I've got a warning on a YouTube video that I put up concerning the Time magazine in last year's U.S. presidential election. Time magazine, I wouldn't exactly call that the bastion of conservative views. How in detail and by names and money and methods, they took the election and changed all the laws, changed all the rules, made up rules they went along without the state legislatures, and that's how they won the presidential election. And they go into details, like 6,500 words. It's very well written, and it's very well done. I put it up, and I got a warning. Now, out of anger, I deleted the video without thinking, and now I can't challenge it. So I have a warning on my channel, so I'm in YouTube jail. I like the thoughts about this. We'll see where it goes. We'll see if it gets legs. Frankly, the matter is they have to take Section 230 of the Communications Act and just throw it out the window and make real legislation. But with Democrats in charge, there's zero chance it will happen. And that's one of the huge mistakes I think President Trump made. And I'm still a huge Trump supporter, and I'll say so, and I don't care who doesn't like it. I'd vote for him tomorrow, given a chance. But for the first 2 years he was president, they could have fixed 230. They had the Senate and they had the House. And they did nothing because the old school Republicans that blocked his way. I don't even think he wanted to do it anyway, but they should have. There's younger people in the administration of Trump that knew that this is a huge problem for conservative and Republicans. And they did nothing about it. Is it too little, too late? I don't know. It's never too late to do the right thing. But we'll see what happens. I'm cautiously optimistic. This is going to have to go to the Supreme Court, and lately my faith in that body has been a little bit tarnished. They've got a couple of things in them. They're a little bent up, and I don't have the faith in them like I used to. It has nothing to do with ideology. When they turned down that suit from the Texas Attorney General, I knew something was up. Now they're taking up a conceal carry gun idea from, I believe, the state of New York, where I'm from. I'm in upstate New York, not New York City. That looks like that might be promising. But if their opinion is too vague and too many holes in it that states can just go around or just simply ignore, we'll have to see. There's a lot at stake. A lot at stake. Now, I believe social media companies have already destroyed themselves. They're already doomed. The problem is, though, the damage they've caused the country might be permanent. We'll have to see. So, okay, Governor DeSantis, good for you. The Florida State Senate, good for you. I like the thought. I like the ideas behind it. And we'll see if it gets legs. Like I said, I'm very cautiously optimistic. Let me know what you guys think. And until next time, folks, goodbye and good luck.